Hello, welcome to the webinar on fundraising. Today's topic is going to be one that's going to be super important to everybody involved, and it's a pre-fundraiser call. That's what this slide is. We're having a pre-fundraiser call today on the topic of getting you ready to have a killer fundraiser. So that's what we're going to be focused on today. We are going to be sharing our screen. The reason I'm recording the call is that sometimes this call would normally be pre-scheduled. Maybe you'd have this call during your planning period or at a time before school or after school, but it's often quite possible that it's hard for you and I to align our schedules to find the right time for this pre-fundraiser call. So I wanted to record it for you so you could listen to it on the drive home. You could listen to it on the drive to work. You could re-listen to it or replay it as needed. What I've found is that once we start the fundraiser, it is challenging to come back on day 2 or day 3 of the fundraiser and make it better. Everything that matters about success on the fundraiser happens 2 or 3 or 4 days before we start the campaign. So this pre-fundraiser call is to coach you on the steps to help you be successful leading up to the campaign. We're going to start by just sharing a few things. The way to stay in touch with me is going to be my email, which is here on the screen. You should probably already have it, and my cell phone number that goes directly to my phone. You can text me, you can call me so that you can know that you're being supported. Wanted you to have my contact information. As we host the pre-fundraiser call today, we are going to tackle what most fundraising companies don't know to talk about. We're going to talk about helping you solve the asking problem. Most teachers or sponsors think that we need to have a better product, or maybe we need to have a better price, and all of those things are important. Or maybe you wonder how strong is the platform that we're using. But what I have found is that we really need to focus on solving the asking problem. Now, the way I solve the asking problem is by helping you with something called the soft launch. I'm actually going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a diagram of the process here that I want you to follow. So here we are. Let's go ahead and get the screen up. Now, this is our website. You've probably been here before. This is floridafundraiser.com. If you haven't yet been to floridafundraiser.com, this is our website. Floridafundraiser.com is going to have some resources on it for you. One of the resources I want to show you is something called the supporters list. So I'm going to go to the menu. I'm going to go over to FAQ, and then I'm going to click on the word supporters list. Now, if you're on your computer right now, or excuse me, if you're kind of watching this, if you want to, you can just scan this QR code, and this is going to come to the supporters list website. Okay. So this is a website that I've made for you that we typically would use on this pre-fundraiser call. Now, if you're a new client, we probably had something called a welcome call. That would have been before this moment. After the welcome call, if you haven't done this yet, you do need to make sure that you have your fundraiser approved by the necessary authorities on your campus or within your district. Please make sure that you have fundraisers approved and that you've scheduled a kickoff time, and you have this on your calendar, and you also have this on your personal calendar, your work calendar, and your personal calendar. Now, this is what we're going to talk about. This is the main purpose of the pre-fundraiser call, is this soft launch and the supporters list topic. Most folks wouldn't know what to do, and they don't know what this is all about. This is the main difference that you're going to have in working with Charlie and my team. Now, this website that we're on right now is going to have everything you need related to the soft launch and the supporters list step. If you do want to schedule a call and get a hold of me, this is where you can do that. This teal button where it says schedule a call with Charlie, you would just click on that button. It's going to go to my my calendar, and on that calendar, you can pick a date and a time that you want to meet with me. Now, here we have the soft launch and supporters list instructions. When should we be doing this? We should do this 3 days before your kickoff. Super important that this is happening prior to the kickoff. Let's see if I can get this to work a little better. It seems like my sharing is a little weird. Let's try again. And let's see if that's better. All right. So there we go. Now, 3 days before the kickoff, what you want to do is you want to make sure you've settled on why you're raising money. You should have a clear goal on why you need to raise money. That why needs to be the problem that this money is going to solve. Make sure that when you introduce this to your students, you tie this problem, this why, back to the fundraiser. You're going to have to create some momentum and some emotional energy that allows the students to feel that this project is very important. You're going to have to create this energy by helping the students understand the gravity of this why, this problem that the fundraising solves. We call this the need. And during this introduction, you need to kind of cut open the wound of this need and have everyone in the room understand the gravity of this need. And then the solution to this pain, this problem, is the fundraiser. And now you're going to start to get everybody on board with the solution. The solution is the supporters list. The supporters list, to me, is a list of adults that like you or adults that are supposed to like you. There is a video here a little bit lower that you can use and play that video for the students to kind of teach them a little bit about who a supporter is and why we're gathering this information. On the supporters list itself, you're going to need your campaign ID. You can write that on the supporters list. The link to the supporters list video is here. And you should be able to click on that link and you'd be able to watch and play the supporters list video. It's a video that you can play in your classroom and allow the students to watch the video. It is a video that you could send out, but you can let this video play. It's narrated, and it helps you communicate to the students that this supporters list is like the critical step. And remember, we are communicating that a supporter is an adult, a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, or an uncle, is an adult that likes you, or it is an adult that is supposed to like you. In this video, you're going to ask your students to use the supporters list to write down all of these people's names, their cell phone number, and their email address. You're going to give your students a goal of 20 to 25 names written down on the supporters list with the phone number and with the email address. What's going to happen in most cases, the students are going to say to you, I don't know anybody's email address. So ask your students to text those people and ask those supporters to reply back with their email address. Then I advise you to give your students 24 hours to take care of the supporters list, have them physically bring it back into you, and then you're going to want to hang on to that thing. And if they don't bring in the right number of names, ask them to go work harder at it. And then you're going to ask the students to go ahead and register and get started on the fundraiser. So all of that would happen really during the soft launch, 2 to 3 days before the fundraiser. Now, I have this image here that says soft launch, the supporters list, and then to the right, it has the kickoff, but in between is this raising $100. So what we're going to do is, if you start your soft launch on a Monday, we're going to go ahead and have the campaign be live on the date that you start the soft launch. And maybe you're going to have your kickoff on Thursday. You're going to encourage your students to start raising money even though the kickoff isn't until Thursday. We call this the early bird challenge. It's step 4 right here, the early bird challenge. Dare or double dare your students to have $100 raised and showing on the leaderboard by the day of the kickoff. Use statements like, who knows, you might accidentally raise $50 before we even get started. Hold a leadership meeting with your leaders and set expectations that your leaders should and will lead by example, and ask those leaders to raise $100 before the kickoff. Now, your campaign ID is going to be sent to you by me or by Logan, and it's going to be, it needs to be written down on your supporters list. Every campaign has its own campaign ID. Setting a group goal for quality contacts with email. Okay. Let's see if I can find, I wanted to highlight something here. You're going to have $20 raised per quality email address. Okay. You're going to raise $20 per quality email address. So how many email addresses do you need to reach your goal? Well, just do some math. Every 500 quality email addresses should yield $10,000. Now, if you're doing a donation campaign or a product campaign, that matters into how much profit you're keeping. So just keep that in mind. Also, the InstaRaise app. This is something that's fairly new. The InstaRaise app, you're going to need to encourage your students to go ahead and download the InstaRaise app. It's going to be very helpful to them as they go through the fundraising process. This icon, this R icon, will end up on their phone home screen or their tablet home screen. So they will be able to just touch that icon and instantly be on the fundraising website, as opposed to having to go to your website on a browser. They can just go to the app on their phone. So I really want to encourage you to have your students download the InstaRaise app. Okay. Now here is the supporters list worksheet. If you press the first teal button, it's going to download it as a PDF for you. And if you press the second teal button, it's going to download or go to a Canva template that you could use. And the Canva template will allow you to edit this worksheet and enter the number of contacts. You can enter the campaign ID before you make your photocopies. So there's your supporters list. There's the link to the supporters list video. If you want to play that, you can just link directly there. I wanted to show this image because this is a really clever way to think about helping your students work together to gather emails. This teacher made thermometers that would document how many email addresses each class brought in. Something to think about there. That was a great idea. Here's a few more videos that you can study or use. When it's time for you to get ready for the kickoff, this gold button does go to the kickoff website where I have the kickoff instructions. And if you are using collectibles, there are some videos here related to collectibles. This is getting into prizes now at this point and student incentives. Rock, paper, scissors is a great incentive that I've used quite a bit. A lot of times we'll have a dollar amount raised and then we get to play rock, paper, scissors, depending on how much the students raise. If you want other incentive ideas, there's also an incentive program called Candy Craze that we could talk about. Incentives could be a whole nother phone call, but it is a good idea to use something, whether it's cash or candy or gift cards, to reward and motivate students who are going to be participating in the fundraiser. Definitely something you want to think about when it comes to this soft launch. A simple prize program that someone shared with me was just to use 3 gift cards, 3 $50 gift cards, a $50 gift card for students who would be drawn from turning in a supporters list with 20 or more names on it, randomly selected for completing the supporters list. There could be a $50 gift card for that. A second $50 gift card that would be given out for students who have raised a certain amount of money by the end of the fundraising kickoff. And then a third $50 gift card, which could be left with the teacher, that might be given out at the end of week 1 or the end of week 2 to keep momentum going in the fundraiser. Now, depending on where you are in the process, I wanted to show you a few ideas that have been working for fundraising formats. This is a page that Freedom High School used in Orlando, Florida. They recently finished up their campaign. And what we did, we spelled out the word freedom, and each letter of the word freedom was a button worth $50. The students were sharing this page, and the students were challenged to find donors that would support them at this $50 level. And so I want to also show you what that looks like when the child does get a supporter by showing you this student's page that did have a few supporters come in. So you can see this student had the F, the R, and 2 of the E's sponsored, and it even kind of has the sponsor's name right there on top of the letter. This is a really great, clever way to put some texture on the donation fundraiser. And of course, product fundraisers, we could do a few things like this as well. That kind of wraps it up. I really wanted you to have this time to have you think about your why, which I call the need, and to really have you think about making sure that you are taking the supporters list seriously and that you're having the students work very hard on gathering the names of adults that like them or adults that are supposed to like them. I just encourage you to not skip this step. This column here where they write down the names, there's really nothing more important that you can do in the fundraiser than have the kids work on this column. If you need to have them do it as a game where you make it a challenge of some sort, where maybe they're going to start by just doing the first couple, maybe see who can get to 5, see who can get to 10, see who can get to 15, and make it fun. But don't make it optional. When I come or when another fundraising consultant comes, the groups that do the best are the groups that take this out and it's filled out. The groups where this is still blank or was never handed out, those groups, they just don't raise as much money. And if doing this correctly is important to you and raising the money is worth doing, then I want you to take this step seriously. We will have another worksheet available for you that will have some QR codes. This will be made and customized for your group. There's different QR codes that will be on here. This smaller one at the bottom will be for texting, where they can send this out to donors. They can scan this and text donors. And this other QR code will be where they register for your campaign. We'll have your campaign ID on yours, but there'll be some blanks here. But this is going to be kind of the steps for the kickoff day. And the supporters list is the worksheet for the soft launch. In theory, you could do them front and back. That's actually not a problem. But the side you're really concerned about is the supporters list side. That's the side where you raise the money. Guys, as you go forward and you think about what you need to do this year, keep us in mind. Keep in mind that we had the Lucky Goat Coffee fundraiser available for you. Keep in mind that we had the Yankee Candle fundraiser available for you. Keep in mind that we've added a relationship with Bando Shoes so that we can help you with those dinkles, those bandos, those band gloves, and we can help you with a full apparel store as well. I appreciate what you do. I'm going to put up my contact information one more time. My email is here on the screen. My phone number is here on the screen. Please reach out if you need support. I hope that this recording of the pre-fundraiser call was a way for you to leverage your time and in 20 minutes really have an understanding of what to do to have a great fundraiser. Thank you so much and have a great day.